Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to introduce our next speaker to you, talking about food safety and claims as market differentiators in cashew trade. Let's have a look at the introduction of our next address.
This session focuses on reducing complaints and recalls in the cashew trade. It will explore quality control, compliance and practical measures to improve consistency and reliability across the cashew value chain. Presenting this session is Mr. Miguel Zavonon from Nexus Services Alimentaires SA. Please welcome him on the stage.
Myself is Miguel Zavonon, complaints expert and food safety BRC approved auditors for packaging, consumer product and storage distribution, SQF and FSSA 22000. I support entrepreneurs in achieving full market compliance. And today I want to thank WCC organizer for including food safety topic into the discussion, because it's something, food safety is something we usually pass away, because food safety is not something we only do for the audit. It should be the daily discipline applied for all supply chain stakeholders. And I really want to thank them for giving me 15 minutes to talk about food safety. So today I'm going to take you behind the scene of cashew trade, showing you why complaint and recall happen and how we can turn them into opportunity to make cashew more stronger, more safer, and more competitive worldwide. So let's start by why. Why complaint and recall matters. As we all know, cashew market is global and complex. Before we receive cashew kernel on our table, cashew now travel a long way. And this from the farmer to the trader to processor, and processor to retailer or packer, and packer to final consumer. So this makes traceability really complicated and really difficult, and make the risk higher. And as we know, a single complaint or recall can tarnish your reputation overnight, and this forever. It's gonna cost you loss of order, delay of payment, loss of money. And also, compliance is the starting point. I heard before this session, the small company, how they can be compliant. So that is something we need to look at. It's not only a nice certificate posted on the wall, it should be a daily discipline and consistency in daily good practices. So let's look at the numbers. Here we track the complaint and recall per 1,000 shipments from 2019 to 2024. So as you can see, from 2019 to 2024, complaint increased from 6 to 11, and recall from 1 to 5. This means a simple things. When complaint increase, recall follow. And is When complaint increase, recall follow, and complaint is early warning sign. If we ignore the complaint, tomorrow we're gonna face the recall. And this is just a number, but there is a history behind this number. Because each point there represents the shipment where the customer expectation was not met and recall happened. So let's see now what are the customer complaining about. First, we have foreign material, shell stone, metal fragment. That is the big issue for a processor. And the second one, we have a quality defect. Sometimes we face some issue that breakage level is high, a customer gonna complain, and scorching, the color is not that white, they're gonna complain because you supply them a white kernel and they got scorched kernel. And then packaging defect, we have randicity and label and documentation issue. These issues are not a big deal. They come usually from weak discipline and poor control. Let's look at the recall. The first cause is foreign material again. It's come first, again, and followed by the microbiological risk. This is salmonella. This is serious issue because it could lead to death. And we have also chemical contamination, pesticide and aflatoxin. Allergen cause contact, mislabeling, undeclared allergen sometime on the label of the product, and traceability failure. So recall are not accident. This means a simple thing. Recall are not accident. These come usually from the system failure. So what should we do now? What should we do to avoid the recall and the complaint? So first, we gotta know that certification is framework. And only daily discipline and consistency for good operational practices create the real performance. And we gotta include also the pre-check, pre-inspection to our SOP, standard operational procedures. Do not ship a problem to your customer. Then we have to control our supplier. That is something really important because sometimes the issue does not come from our facility. It comes from maybe the supplier of raw materials, or supplier of ingredients, or supplier of packaging, or maybe the supplier of services, because we have some carrier, some transportation, some shipment, supplier of services. They're gonna have our container stock somewhere and ship after some time. So we gotta work with, you gotta work with your purchasing team, production team, and quality team to figure out how you're gonna approve your supplier of raw materials, and supplier of ingredient, and also your supplier of services. You gotta invest in training, train everyone, train the loader, train the operator, train the warehouse supervisor, and training should not be like once a year, as they usually do, but it should be ongoing process. Then conduct frequently the mock recall. When we talk about mock recall, I faced this issue many times during my audit worldwide because the auditee confused traceability tests and mock recall tests. They're gonna do traceability tests, change the name, and give you as mock recall. It doesn't make any sense actually, because traceability gonna track your product, you're gonna do the mass balance, but mock recall include traceability tests, include verification of key activity. So we need to have effective mock recall tests, and when we test our mock recall procedure, we're gonna be ready if something happens quickly, we're gonna treat the product. And finally, we need to reinforce the food safety culture within the facility. That is something really important. So, before I will take and finish this presentation, I have a message for the buyer. And the buyer, you play a key role in supplier chain. The buyer, you are really important for the supplier chain. Do not only look at or chase the price, because price is important, it's really important, but food safety is more important. A penny though can change a game, but food safety, we talk about food, and food safety is really important. You gotta invest in strong processor who have the strong food safety system, who invest in food safety, who train their people, who control the process, who protect your brand. You gotta invest in them, you gotta reward them, and set also the strong expectation. Then they're gonna know what to do, what is your expectation, what is your requirement, so clearly they're gonna meet that. And by doing that, I think you really help the Cashew supplier chain, and Cashew will become the most safest and more competitive nut in the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you.